friends. So it has been a while, but even though work has been busy, I'm still keeping up with my budget, and I thought that I would share my mid-month update with you guys since I finally had time to get everything sorted. So here we go. One of the goals I had set a while back was I wanted to hire a financial advisor once I hit a 25K in investments for retirement. So I hit that milestone, but I didn't hire a financial advisor because my phone went kaput out of nowhere. Since that happened, I decided, well, I guess I'd rather cash flow my phone replacement than hire a financial advisor in this instance because the phone was a more pressing matter. So that is going to be a goal for the future, but we're not going to worry about it this month. And then I have my normal bill tracker. Everything's good, although I did add Apple Care. Does anyone use this, and is it actually worth it? I know it's only a little bit a month, but I am super frugal budgeter, so I'm not sure if it's really worth having this warranty or not. So if you have experience with it, let me know because I am debating that one. And then here is the usual, the meat of the budget, so to speak. This month is a 5 paycheck month, which is always awesome. And really that's the reason why I was able to cash flow my phone this month so easily. It was because I'm basically counting on that extra paycheck to cover most of it. And then nothing really out of the ordinary here. I did have to add a housing other category because I didn't find out until the rent was due that they had switched the, I guess, website managing their renter's insurance, so they needed like an updated document. And since I didn't know about it, they didn't have it and they were charging me. So that's fixed now, thankfully. Then we have the typical food sections. My eating out is over budget, but I did add $20 from some cash envelopes. So this is actually changed to $80. So I'm doing okay there. Dates, as always, a little high. And then groceries. So last month you didn't see it because I was so busy. I didn't do my review and whatnot. But I went way over budget on groceries because I went and bought meat and some other staples at Costco. I didn't really like how expensive that month was, but obviously it's paying off so far because I was able to use a lot of that stuff into almost half of this month and have barely touched my budget. But now I'm out of it, so back to normally scheduled grocery shopping after this week. Gas, normal. Here's where you see the big cell phone charge. I was only planning to pay my monthly, service fee, and instead, all things total, this is what I spent on my phone this month, which obviously is not a very fun time, but I did have my other phone for about 3 years, so I got some good use out of it before this happened. Hobbies, I'm a little over. Miscellaneous, we're low. Clothes, I'm finally upgrading or updating my wardrobe, rather. I haven't bought new work clothes in legitimately years, so that's overdue. And I've actually dropped this in my EveryDollar app. So one of the other things, I have this paper budget, and this is essentially like what my goals for the month were, but I actively update my EveryDollar budget as things change. So for example, this huge expense, I had to factor it into my EveryDollar to make sure things were up to date and I wasn't going over budget in every other area because I wasn't accounting for this. So you don't see it on this paper budget, but in my EveryDollar, that's how I make sure I'm not going over budget as things change. Got a haircut, also it's the first time in 5 months. So besides the unexpected cell phone replacement, things are good in that area. Health things, same as usual, except I thought I had canceled this last month, but I had actually just paused it. And so it reactivated this month. I got the charge. I don't use it at all. It's a good service. I just forget to use it all the time. So I finally canceled it today. We're good there. And then last but not least, I had my brother graduated this year, which is cool. Congrats, Wes. And so I took out money for grad gifts for him and his girlfriend, and then it was also Mother's Day last weekend, and so all of that is factored into this. And then down here, I updated some household goods in our apartment, and so the total was $146. So I said 50 of that came from the budgeted, and then I had money in my sinking fund from, you know, as I've been saving up over the months, and then I said so 46 came from the sinking fund, like I had to pull that out. And so I'm gonna see if that helps me at the end of the month keep track of everything. And then this was for traveling when I went to go see my brother for his graduation. I paid for the hotel and food costs and stuff like that. And Roth IRA, slow and steady wins the race, and that's where we are right now. I did want to note, so down here, it says I've spent this much this month, this $2,791.48. But if you look over here, it says I've only brought in $2,113.62. So I have spent more than I have brought in this month. But the reason that's been possible is because I have a really big buffer in my checking account that I pretty much just act like it doesn't exist. And so you'll see over here, I have been actually tracking my checking expenses this month. Go me. And at the start of the month, I had this amount, which is essentially buffer. It's basically a month's worth of expenses that I have saved up in my checking account, so I don't really have to worry about when my paycheck's coming in. This is all of the expenses or transactions that have come out of my checking account. I don't think there's anything really out of the ordinary to show. So it's the second page of the checking. I am also doing cash envelopes this month. I actually remembered to pull money out. As you can see, I stopped writing in food because as of right now, I only use cash envelopes for food related expenses. So I wrote it in and then I stopped. But this is how it's going. And once again, I really do like having a column where I say how much cash I have on hand. And then I have a column that also says how much I have in the specific envelope. So that's been helpful just for my brain. I wish there was a better way to organize, you know, which envelope, like you saw, I had to track, okay, when was the last time I bought something, and then subtract that amount from there. So, you know, it's easy to get confused, but it's not so bad. It's working right now for me. So this is my expense tracker for my savings accounts. This is part of a sinking fund, so I was saying that's what I pulled out of my savings. This is going to be my sinking funds. I just haven't filled it in. It gets a little tedious to rewrite everything over and over again each month. I just don't know how I can avoid that. Maybe I'll start typing those in as well, so I just don't have to handwrite everything each time. Same thing with this whole section that I need to do. I need to write in what was last month. And it just gets tedious, I guess, every month writing in the same old things. It feels like I write it 3 or 4 times when I'm trying to do my reviews and whatnot. So things to consider, but that's pretty much it for my mid-month check-in. All of this stuff will be filled out at the end of the month. And let me just show you, just so you know I'm not yanking your chain. I did do, for my own personal viewing and records, I did my April budget review, wrote in some notes and stuff. I did my net worth review, which I just bit the page, but that's fine. So I am keeping up with it, even though YouTube fell to the wayside this past month because work. I just was really out of my routine, but I did stick with my budget. I didn't go overboard, and I count that as a win, even though a lot of other things fell to the wayside. My budget is still on track. We're doing well for May, and yeah, we're almost reaching the halfway point of the year, but so far so good. I'm definitely going to do a May review at the end of the month. Staying on your budget when life gets crazy and when life is happening in full swing that's the most important time to be on your budget, because life happens and you don't want to get your finances out of whack just because of that. But that is it for now. As always, let me know if you have any questions, and I am always happy to help. But bye, you guys.